Hello everyone, let us understand about elasticity. First of all, we need to know on what kind of objects or bodies we can apply these concepts to. The body has to be a rigid one. Now what is a rigid body? A rigid body will have a definite shape and size, yes, but other than that also there has to be a particular criteria for a rigid body. Because even eraser will have a definite shape and size, but that is not a rigid one. Let us consider a body here. And we take the body to be moving with some velocity in this direction. Let the velocity that the body moves with be v. Now we take 2 points on the body. Suppose this point be A and another point be B. The velocity of A should be equal to the velocity of B should be equal to the velocity of body. Now if we consider velocity of A minus velocity of B, this comes out to be equal to 0 because both are equal. Now velocity of A minus velocity of B, we can write this as velocity of A with respect to B, and this is equal to 0. Now velocity of A with respect to B, this is nothing but the relative velocity. So we have defined the special criteria for a rigid body, which means that if we consider any 2 points on a body and the relative velocity of those 2 points comes out to be equal to 0, then the body is a rigid one. Now let us define a few terms for a particular object that we'll be considering. Let this be the object, and on this object we apply 2 forces. First one along this direction and the second one in the opposite direction. The 2 forces be F, so they are equal but opposite in nature. The force F is basically called the deforming force. F is the deforming force. Now if we need to define the deforming force, it will be an external force which can change the shape, length or volume of a body. Take the example of a rubber or eraser. If you apply forces on both sides equally, then the shape or the length of the rubber will definitely change. Now what if this force F is removed? Then the body may gain its original shape or it may not gain its original shape. If it gains its original shape, then it will be called perfectly elastic body. But if it is not able to gain its original shape, it will be called plastic body. So a perfectly elastic body is the one which perfectly regains its original shape after removing the deforming force, and a plastic body will remain in deformed state after removing the deforming force, and it does not have the property of opposing the deforming force. Now when we talk about opposing, we should always consider that in nature every element wants to be in its equilibrium position or in its state of inertia. We have applied this force F externally, so internally there will be a force which resists this force in the opposite direction. We consider the resisting force to be equal to F dash. Now at equilibrium, the internal force will be equal to the external force. So internal resisting force is produced due to intermolecular forces when an external force acts on the body. And due to this internal force that we have here, F dash, this is the internal resisting force. Due to this force, we will have a term which is known as stress, and stress is defined as the internal resisting force, which is F dash, divided by the cross sectional area. The internal resisting force is equal to the external force F divided by the cross sectional area. Now what is cross sectional area? Suppose we take an object which is cylindrical in shape. We will have an object somewhat like this. Now, if we cut at any portion of this cylinder and we view it from a side, suppose we view it from this side, what kind of shape will we see? Definitely it will be a circle. The cylinder will have a radius and that will be the same radius of this circle. If the radius of this circle is r, then its cross-sectional area will be equal to pi r square. Now the reason behind considering cross-sectional area is that it is the minimum area. We have cross-sectional area as the minimum area. And why do we consider the minimum area? So that the stress that comes out is maximum. If the stress is maximum, this ensures that the design that we are making is safe. So for safety purposes, we consider the minimum area for which the stress comes out to be maximum, because if the denominator is minimum, the result will be maximum. Advantage of having maximum stress in our design element will be that we will be able to calculate how much maximum force or maximum load that structure can bear. We have seen stress is equal to force divided by cross-sectional area. Now we are concerned with the unit and dimension of stress. The unit will be equal to, the unit of force is Newton and the unit of area is meter square. So we have the unit to be equal to Newton per meter square for stress. This is the SI unit. Now the dimension of force is mLT to the power minus 2 divided by the dimension for length is L and it is square for area. So the dimension comes out to be mL to the power minus 1 T to the power minus 2. These are the units and dimensions of stress. Now a point to be noted here is that if the cross-section area A is given in millimeter square, then our stress will be in mega Newton per meter square. How did we arrive to this? If we have Newton upon millimeter square, we can write this as Newton upon 10 to the power minus 3 meter whole square, because 1 millimeter is 10 to the power minus 3 meter. So this basically comes out to be equal to Newton per 10 to the power minus 6 meter square, which is equal to 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square, and 10 to the power 6 is mega. So we have mega Newton per meter square. Another point to note is that Newton per meter square is also called as Pascal, which is denoted by PA. We see here that the unit comes out to be equal to Pascal, which is the unit of pressure, and even pressure is defined as force per unit area. But these two terms are not to be confused, they are different. First of all, pressure acts due to an external force and stress comes due to an internal force. And secondly, pressure is a scalar quantity, but stress is neither a scalar nor vector, it is a tensor quantity. So that was it for today. Thank you.